You took the morning after pill, but your period is late. And you'd be wondering, did it actually work? Well, you're not alone. As a pharmacist, these are some of the questions I get as to why emergency contraceptives fail at times. Hi, my name is Nana. I'm a clinical pharmacist and I create content on women's health, and medication. If these are some of the things you're interested in, why don't you hit that subscribe button now and let's become family. In this video, we're going to be talking about why your morning after pill or your plan B, or should I say your emergency contraceptive, might have failed you. I'll be talking about the different types of emergency contraceptives, to touch on some of the side effects, and also talk about how to prevent this from occurring in the future. Before we talk about why your emergency contraceptives or your morning after pill or even your plan B might have failed you, let's talk about the different types of emergency contraceptives that are available. So for those that are not aware, emergency contraceptives are medications that are normally used to prevent pregnancy. How they normally work is they prevent ovulation from occurring, or they prevent the sperm meeting an egg, so making it impossible for you to get pregnant. There are three different types of emergency contraceptive. There are two types that are taken orally, and there's one that's inserted to prevent pregnancy. Let's talk about them. So number one is copper IUD. So copper IUD is known to be the most effective form of emergency contraceptive. It is not taken orally, it is inserted, as I said before, and it is known to be 99.9% effective. It's made up of copper that is released into your bloodstream to prevent pregnancy. By doing so, it prevents an egg from implanting itself into your womb. It can also be used as a form of contraceptives. So if it's someone that's looking for a long-term contraceptive, then the copper IUD is something worth considering. Every other medication come with side effects. Some of the side effects can be heavy bleeding, cramps, pain, but everyone is different. You might not experience it. If you do, of course, your body will get used to the medication and hopefully it should get better. If you've had an unprotected sex, the copper IUD can be used up to 5 days after having an unprotected sex. The only downside to the copper IUD is it has to be inserted by a healthcare professional. So you have to go to either your sexual health clinics or clinics that deals with contraceptives. So remember, it is used up to 5 days of having unprotected sex. Now we know a bit about the copper IUD. Let's talk about the second most effective form of emergency contraceptive. So the next one on the line is known as ELA1. ELA1 is taken orally, and it is a form of medication with the name Ulipristal. ELA1 can be bought from the pharmacy. It doesn't need to be inserted as it's taken orally. You need to see a pharmacist to be able to obtain ELA1. ELA1 can be expensive. However, it is also effective up to 5 days. It is 98 to 99% effective when taken within the time frame. Let's talk about how ELA1 works. So as I mentioned earlier, ELA1 contains a medication called ulipristal acetate. What this does is it attaches itself to the progesterone receptors. Progesterone is the hormone responsible for ovulation. So when ELA1 or ulipristal acetate attaches itself to the progesterone receptor, it blocks the effects of progesterone. By doing so, it delays ovulation or stop ovulation altogether. Can also prevent sperm attaching to an egg and fertilizing it. So this is how ELA1 works. Let's talk about the last one on the list, which is known as levonorgestrel. Levonorgestrel is the generic name. However, it is also known as Plan B, Levo1, and Levono. So these three names are the brand name given to levonorgestrel. And levonorgestrel is the most popular one. It can be used within 3 days of having unprotected sex. However, its effectiveness is reduced as the day goes by. So after having an unprotected sex, you can use it within 72 hours, which is 3 days. So remember, it's different from LR1 and IUD. Let's talk about its effectiveness. Levonorgestrel is 95% effective if taken within the first 24 hours of having an unprotected sex. Within 25 to 84 hours, its effectiveness is reduced to 84%. And within 49 to 72 hours, the effectiveness again is reduced to 58%. So this is the reason why it's important to take levonorgestrel or your plan B or your Levonorgestrel within 24 hours of having unprotected sex. Let's talk about how it works. Levonorgestrel contains the synthetic version of the female hormone progesterone. So it works by stopping your ovaries from releasing an egg. So it prevents ovulation from occurring. And it also thickens the lining of the mucus, your cervical mucus, to prevent a sperm from implanting itself or attaching itself to meet an egg to fertilize it. Now we know a bit about these emergency contraceptives. Let's talk about how or why these contraceptives, especially the morning after pill, may have failed you. Number one on the list, remember I said these medications prevent ovulation from happening, or it delays ovulation. So if you're someone that's taking morning after pill after you have ovulated, then your chances of getting pregnant is very high. They're not 100% effective. They are between 95 to 99% effective. So if you have already ovulated and you take these medications, sis, you might end up being pregnant. Number two on the line is your BMI. I don't know your BMI. BMI is known as your body mass index, normally calculated using your weight and your height, and it will give you a value based on how healthy you are or how unhealthy you are. When it comes to IUD or LR1, your BMI or your weight is not considered based on the dose. However, when it comes to levonorgestrel, weight plays a factor. So if you're a woman that weighs 70 kg or has a BMI over 26, then it is advisable to take double dose of Levonorgestrel. If you're unsure, then please speak to your pharmacist or your doctor. They'll be able to advise you further. Number three on the line as to why your morning after pill may have failed you is you probably vomited within 3 hours of taking the morning after pill. Sis, if you vomit within 3 hours of taking morning after pill, you need to take another dose because your previous dose might not have been absorbed, therefore it might not have been effective at preventing pregnancy. So number four on the list could be certain medications that you're taking. Please speak to your pharmacist about it or your healthcare provider for them to check if this medication does not interact with the morning after pill. Right, family, I shall end this video here, but before I go, I want to know if this has happened to you before. If it has, please comment down below and let's start the conversation. I shall see you all in my next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share with your loved ones. See you later. Take care. Bye.